All right, we're rolling. Hopefully the audio's working. I'm in the middle of a 7.5 hour drive to El Paso, Texas, which is where I'm going to stop for the night. I'm heading out to Arizona, where I'm going to go to a Diamondbacks game. Then after that, I'm going Dodgers, Padres, Angels, then the A's and Giants, whoever's in town. And then I'm going to work Seattle somewhere in there as well. Really don't want to go up to see the Mariners, but I'm kind of thinking the scenery up in Oregon and Seattle, it'll be cool where I can get some shots of the van. We'll see what happens, man. I just want to focus one drive at a time because, man, it is a gauntlet out here. And I knew it would be a grind, but, man, it is tough. And I guess the first thing I can address is how crazy this podcast setup is. I don't know if anybody has ever done a podcast while driving like this before, but it is an awesome setup. There's just a little table behind me where I could mount this mic, and I mount it there for my free picks every day, but I also figured it would be cool to record a little podcast while I drive and just be as efficient as possible. And that's really been the name of the game for me. I've lost so many hours that I could be working because I'm driving, and I have to figure out a way to work while I drive. And I've had a lot of phone calls with my first employee that I hired. So the business now has 2 employees. It has me and then the employee. And I've been calling her and talking to her about editing and coaching her through that. So we're getting in our groove. We're building our daily battle rhythm, and we're getting in that daily routine because a lot of this stuff is super repetitive. You wake up, you find a pick, you have to write your script or have it in your head, deliver the script on video, edit the video. We're adding all sorts of stuff to videos now. TikTok's just getting way more competitive than it was a year ago. I think a lot of guys on TikTok saw me making the money I made, and they decided, hey, it's probably a good idea to start posting predictions, and they're right, it is. But I wanted to talk about that too in this episode. I want to talk about where I see sports betting content going, where it's at now, where it was a year ago, 5 years ago, and just how interesting everything is. This is about to witness a crazy wreck up in front of me. 18-wheeler just going like 40 miles an hour in the fast lane. Speed limit say like 80 right here, so yeah, it's a little weird. But sorry, that distracted me. But sports betting content, it's fascinating me right now, just all of the things going on, and it really is a gold rush. And the things that I see happening that are really interesting to me are how in demand sports betting influencers are. And I'm obviously a sports betting influencer. In many ways, I wish I could do better making more content and making content for YouTube specifically, but it's hard, man. And I want to build a team to make it a little bit easier. But yeah, I mean, I crank TikToks out, I build TikTok pages, and I've done really well with the affiliate marketing side. But it just fascinates me watching how everybody is handling their page, what everyone's goals are. There's people that get millions of views and they don't make $1, and then there's people like me that get banned every other month and can't get over 10,000 views and still grind out a $30,000 month. But yeah, it's super interesting to me, and part of why I got the van was so that I could really bring fresh content to the table, more entertaining content to the table, and that's definitely what I'm doing. The Van Life Gambling TikTok page is really sick. I really love the content, but it's to be determined if everyone else loves it or not. But right now, and I kind of don't know why I'm making this podcast, but I do think it'd be cool for me to look back on. But right now, in summer of 2022, we're going into a football season where each individual company, each individual app, you've got Underdog, you've got Thrive Fantasy, Prize Picks, Super Draft. There's so many of them. I could keep listing like 10. But they're all trying to achieve a goal. And no matter what that goal is, whether it's to be acquired, it's to make more money, it's whatever, they need more users. And they're basically in bidding wars with each other where it's really benefiting the influencer, or at least the influencers that have done a good job of networking and negotiating and figuring out what their worth is and all of that. And it's very rare to find somebody who is an influencer who also knows how to sell, who's also willing to sell, who also has high enough self-belief. It's interesting. And I think my background selling door-to-door obviously is my X factor. That's what helps me the most. And then I've just consumed a lot of entrepreneur content where I understand, hey, like, you got to go out and get what's yours, and you don't want to be in a position where somebody else is taking advantage of you. Someone's making hundreds of thousands of dollars off of you and paying you pennies. And I see a lot of influencers in that position right now, which is very interesting to me. But as an entrepreneur and just as a man, it's not really my place to like get angry at those guys or even holy wind. Wow, that felt like a mini tornado hitting us, man. That was insane. But yeah, it's not really my place. However, what I can do and how I can use this information that I'm gathering to my advantage is I can build a content team and build a clout house and get all these guys together that are willing to work for pennies and pay them thousands of dollars. And if somebody's working for free and they get thousands of dollars, they'll be pumped. And then all of a sudden, you have a squad of influencers, of content creators, and you're paying them a few $1,000s a month, and they're helping you build this giant content operation. So I'm just thinking, how can I grow? How can I scale? I'm only one man. I can only do so much in a day. And I really have this vision and I have this goal. Beautiful river right there. Man, I'm tempted to drive down there and take a dip. Van life, right? Van life, you can do whatever you want. But I have this vision to build a fantasy factory, a content house, and get some of the top guys, get some of the guys that I'm friends with in there, get them on salary so that they don't have to stress about money. They can do this full time and just let them crank, man. Let them build their personal brands and all that. But we'll see if it happens. I really think next summer it's going to happen for me, but I could be wrong. I mean, who knows what I'll be doing next year. I just see so much opportunity for this, and it's so interesting to me just looking at how many views everyone's getting, how much money everyone's making, and it's not always equal, right? It's not always fair. And yeah, I'm just like pumped, man, because I've basically combined my passion towards entrepreneurship with my passion towards sports betting and fantasy sports, and I'm having a blast. And I mean, I'm doing van life gambling now, so I'm really trying to beef the content up. And honestly, I think doing podcasts like this is good. It's therapeutic. It gives you guys more insight on my mindset, where I'm at mentally, and it also helps me talk my thoughts out. Holy shit. Sorry, there's like a cop in the middle of the road. There's lights on. Anyways, see if I can get over. Cops scare me, man. Cops scare all of us, right? Cops scare all of us. Nobody wants to get in trouble. No one wants a ticket. But hey, it's whatever. So I try to keep my distance from the policemen when I see them. So that's why I was trying to change lanes there. But yeah, I feel like these podcasts, if the audio is working, they're really cool. And I can crank them out while I drive, which is like so efficient, because I would be listening to a podcast if I wasn't recording this. And I want to create content, right? That's my whole goal. So we'll see where this goes. I also would like to hire an editor so that I could make vlogs of van life gambling. But I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like, and kind of realizing like, dude, van life gambling is awesome, but man, it is so much work. I don't know if it's going to be worth it in the end. Now, if I make $1 million off this, it'll be worth it, and that's the goal. But how much work is that going to be? And I see people like fantasy footballers. I'm listening to all their podcasts right now, getting ready to make some fantasy content. And like, those guys just meet up in a recording studio, maybe a spare bedroom in one of their houses. Maybe it's an office that they got for themselves, which is pretty sick. But they're just meeting up and having a good time. And dude, they're definitely clearing $1 million a year. It's a group of 3 dudes and plus their editors, so it might be a group of 5 people or whatever. I guess $1 million's not that much split between 5 people, but they they're crushing it. They might be making 10 million, who knows? I'm just making numbers up. It's very hard to calculate what the top guys are making because they have multiple streams and you don't know what type of deals they're negotiating. So it's very tricky. It's very tricky. But I do know that I'm excited, and I do know that I'm taking this van to the West Coast. So if any of you guys are out there right now and you're watching this podcast when I upload it, definitely hit me up. I'm excited to meet as many of you as possible. For college football, I'm probably going to be going through SEC country a lot. And yeah, I'm just having fun out here. So that's all I've really got. If anything I said was interesting to you, drop a comment, please. I'd love to interact with you guys. For whatever reason, I don't get the best engagement on my content, so I take full responsibility. But yeah, I just would love to chat with you guys. I think about this stuff a lot alone in my head, and I'd love to talk to somebody about what is going on in the sports betting content industry right now, because 2022 is the modern day gold rush, and it's an amazing thing to see, and I'm so grateful that I'm a part of it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you supporting the page, listening to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. This was kind of my first one, so we'll see what else I can put out in the future. Hopefully I'll have some guests that I can meet up with and podcast with. But yeah, that's all I've got. Peace out. Have a good day. I'll see y'all in the next one.